Any one of them or maybe.
No, we know that the inert molecule has no affinity for water and vice versa.
Yeah.
So what would the water molecule choose?
There will be no choice in
But
this
there is
situation.
going to be a reaction, right? There were two possibilities.
Yes.
There is water here,
Hmm.
and I managed to blow both the gases over the surface of water.
Okay.
An inert gas as well as oxygen. What do I find dissolved in the water?
Oxygen.
Oxygen. So something happened, right? One was chosen,
Yeah.
one was rejected.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So, sir, where does this concept of consciousness in human psychology came from?
Vanity, general vanity.
Sir, I'm thinking to choose psychology.
Most people in your age, we have all kinds of sexual orientations, I understand. But still, an overwhelming majority, if you come across a girl and a boy, what are you likely to be attracted towards? Which one?
Opposite gender.
Opposite gender. The choice is already made, just as you know in advance what the oxygen molecule would affiliate itself to. Similarly, I know in advance that if you have a choice between a girl and a boy, you would go towards the girl. Where is the choice? But since language is our own invention, we accord ourselves a lot of vanity. The right word is hubris. Stratospheric pride. But what you call as choice is something that is predetermined. There is no choice. What choice is there? This is a street, this one, right? This is a mosque. This is a temple. You are a Muslim. Which direction you bow down to?
To the left.
To the left. But you say I chose that. Did you?
No.
No. The oxygen molecule didn't choose anything. It was pre-decided. The oxygen molecule is chemically conditioned. We too are physically conditioned. And to make the whole thing thicker, add social conditioning to it. Now the soup is really rich. Chemical, physical, social, all kinds of conditionings. And still we have the face to say, I am a conscious decision maker who chooses. Where is the choice, sir? Where is the choice? Ever seen, keep exceptions apart, ever seen a man who decides to marry a man? Where is the choice? The hormones have already decided that being of one gender, you will drift towards someone of the other gender. Where is the choice? If you want to take things forward, they'll get really interesting. The kind of woman or man you are going to like, even that is preordained to some extent.
Sir, but when it comes to going against your hormonal balance and basically going against your mental wills or maybe your physical being in a spiritual path, we have to do it.
Then you are no more who you are.
Means
then you are no more the one who is talking.
Sir, I didn't get it.
You see, as long as you are the one, you will remain conditioned. You will remain conditioned. And when you are not conditioned, then there is a totally separate thing that comes over.
Sir, but
You
when
cannot
we
say I am the same person who was conditioned and now I am the same one who is now conscious or free of conditioning. No. These are two separate centers. You cannot say, I graduated from being unconscious to conscious. You don't graduate. You go, you dissolve. What remains is a totally different thing.
So, sir, what many evolutionary scientists say is that we don't have free will. It is in the dimension of ordinary.
Right on the money. They are
physical
exactly
mental.
right. As we are products of evolution, in our identity and existence as products of evolution, there is absolutely no free will at all. No product of evolution will have any free will ever. The point is, can you transcend evolution? The body evolves. Can you see all that?
So, sir,
Can you see the whole process of evolution and see how just the bondages keep evolving into newer kinds of bondages? And if you can see that, then you have transcended the whole stream of evolution.
So, sir, understanding is what makes it against the free will.
Not against, beyond.
Beyond. Sir, isn't it transcending these things is an abstract thing?
Very abstract. Very abstract. For the one who we are.
Yes.
Right? The sky is such an abstract thing for the fish.
True.
The fish never went up there. And remaining the fish, it will never go up there. So the sky is just an abstraction. As long as it remains the fish.
So, sir, transcending starts from understanding always.
First of all, acknowledging that which we call as free will or conscious choice is all a facade. Nobody is operating freely here. We all are slaves to, as you said, the process of evolution. Our chemicals, our hormones, the way we are indoctrinated, the religion, the media, the education, all these things. So these multiple forces, they coalesce to form what is called the human being. Once you acknowledge that, and that's a very humbling acknowledgement, it shatters you from within, so you don't want to come to that. But once you acknowledge that, once you very clearly see that happening within you, I am not. My grandfather sits within me and speaks.
True.
And within the grandfather, his grandfather sits. I am not. My male hormones are talking right now. I'm talking from my testicles. Once you start seeing all that, then you are left with very little energy to defend yourself, very little energy or motivation, because you have seen. Now your honesty will not allow you to unsee. You have seen. That acknowledgement has to be there. Right now, this is not me. There is some random chemical talking. This is not me. This is my upbringing as a Hindu or Muslim talking. This is not me. I'm speaking right now as somebody from a particular city or state or country. Oh, this is not me. I'm speaking as a member of a particular species. Therefore, I'm treating all other species as inferior. This is not really me. This is the wider thing called human beings or Homo sapiens. This isn't me. There is nothing particularly me in all this. That acknowledgement you must honestly come to.
And this acknowledgement is a gift of being a human, that we can know that we...
Usually one is forced into that, because the acknowledgement humbles, and because we don't want to be humbled. So usually we don't come to it unless we are forced. Either life forces you to that point, or your own honesty and your own suffering. But nobody does it out of his great happiness. One has to be kicked into doing that.
So this existential angst in which a philosophical person get into in various phases of reading philosophies and understanding, this existential angst, is it a gift that we are acknowledging the fact that it is completely settling a certain
No, that gift is available to everybody, kid. Everybody. We are living false lives. And if you're living a false life, then life is all the time sending you messages and reminders, and you're stumbling over stuff, and you find your knees bruised and bleeding. All that is constantly happening. It's lack of honesty that doesn't allow us to acknowledge. Now, is honesty a gift? I don't know. Yes, probably. Sometimes people call it grace, but I don't want to think of it as grace. Sounds discriminatory, Somebody received grace, somebody didn't. So it's not as if there is some special gift contained here. Some people want to know. Others just wait for their time to come, maybe. I don't know.
And for a kick from life.
Or a bigger kick from life. Life is kicking you all the time. What you're probably waiting for is a bigger kick. Yeah.
So, sir, being honest always results in existential angst.
Don't call it angst again and again. Otherwise, you will be you're creating a barrier. If you use such a huge word, angst, then you're saying, I don't want to get into it. It would be so problematic. It would be so heart-wrenching. Angst. And also, when you say angst, it assumes some melodrama. The fellow is like holding his heart and saying, somebody is wringing it from within. These are constant reminders. You're arguing over something, and then you realize that you are just a pathetic insect, arguing over nonsense, arguing just to uphold your pride. That kind of a daily thing. No special angst contained in it. Look at the way we consume our food. Something as quotidian as that. Look at the way you go and wash your face and allow the water to keep draining into the basin. Why? Because it's cold. Remember the winter months? You say, right, let it keep flowing. I don't want to entertain the prospect of having cold water splashed over my still half asleep face. These are things. Nothing special. In everything that we do, there is disgrace. There are certain people who do not want to live with such disgrace. They say there must be some dignity beyond all this rubbish. They are the ones who confront the fact of what we called as life. Others just carry on. It depends on you. You can choose to carry on with all the dishonesties and the nonsense and the cruelty and the fakeness that is called as normal life. Or you could say, not for me, sir. Not for me. I want to address this issue. Why am I like this? 5 minutes I just kept brushing my teeth and the water kept flowing. All it needed was one flick of the hand, and why didn't I do this? Why am I such an asshole? That's the question you must ask. And only the rare one has the guts to acknowledge that. It begins from there. I'm an asshole.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.